In the creative word, you will uncover the secret the mystics knew. Creation begins with what you speak. Each word you declare sends a vibration through the universe, drawing to you the very reality you name. Your words are the golden threads of your destiny. Use them to weave abundance now. The creative word. Introduction. In a forgotten city of spice-laden winds and whispering lanterns, there lived a merchant named Adil. His shop, lined with empty shelves, echoed only with the hush of dawn. Yet each morning, before the world awoke, Adil lifted his gaze to the sky and uttered 4 quiet words. "Abundance flows through me." Passers-by paused, puzzled by his ritual, but Adil's voice never wavered. Days turned to weeks, and a subtle enchantment stirred. Strangers were drawn to his threshold, as if by an unseen current. Gold exchanged hands, and carpets once unsold glimmered with new owners. Adil's words had become a hidden magnet, weaving unseen threads of prosperity through the fabric of his days. The power you hold is no different. Your words are not breath alone. They are living seeds cast into the boundless soil of the universe. Each declaration, "I am wealth." Prosperity surrounds me. Money flows with ease. Rings like a bell across the unseen realms, and the universe must answer. These are not mere phrases, but ancient keys unlocking the treasury of existence. Every sentence you speak stitches reality like a golden loom. Speak of lack and you weave shadows. Speak of abundance, and your life is embroidered with light. For creation itself begins with the spoken word. Just as the first dawn broke at the command, "Let there be light," so does your own prosperity arise when you give it voice. Guard your speech as the mystics did. Every word is a seed of destiny, and what you speak today becomes the world you will walk through tomorrow. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Part 1. The Power of the Spoken Word. Chapter 1. The Whisper That Created Gold. In a small village by the sea, Luca would walk along the shore each morning, whispering the same gentle words, "I welcome infinite abundance." At first, these words felt foreign on his tongue, yet he persisted. Within days, an old friend appeared with an unexpected inheritance letter. The following week, a forgotten investment yielded surprising returns. Money began flowing from sources he had never imagined. The universe responds to your declarations with precise reflection. When you speak of scarcity, you create a magnetic field that pushes prosperity away. But when you align your words with abundance, you establish a resonance that draws wealth naturally toward you. Your speech acts as a beacon, signaling to the cosmic forces what you are ready to receive. Consider how a magnet's polarity determines what it attracts or repels. Your words operate by the same principle. Phrases of doubt, worry, and limitation emit a frequency that wealth cannot answer. But declarations of abundance, prosperity, and readiness create an irresistible pull in the universal field. Nina discovered this truth during her darkest hour, where once she had said, "I never have enough," she began stating, "Wealth finds me easily." Her transformation began subtly, a surprise bonus, an unexpected refund, a spontaneous gift. As her words shifted, her reality realigned. The universe had no choice but to match her new vibration. Your mind does not distinguish between what you speak habitually and what is real. It accepts your words as commands, as blueprints for manifestation. When you declare, "I am prosperous," you initiate a sequence of energetic shifts that must culminate in physical abundance. The language you choose programs your subconscious expectations. Each time you speak of wealth with certainty, you strengthen the neural pathways that recognize and receive abundance. Your brain begins to scan for opportunities that match your declarations, bringing into focus possibilities that were always present but previously invisible to you. Ancient practice of the 4 words. Select 4 words that embody wealth in its purest form. These might be, "Abundance flows to me," or "Prosperity surrounds me now." Speak these words aloud 3 times each day, at sunrise, noon, and sunset. Infuse them with absolute certainty. Feel their truth in your bones. Continue until these words feel as natural as breathing, as inevitable as the tide. The universe will have no choice but to respond in kind, matching your declarations with manifestation. Chapter 2. The Echo That Answers. A traveling merchant named Gino once spent his days lamenting his misfortunes. "Nothing ever works in my favor," he would say, watching his small shop empty of customers. "The market is against me." Each complaint became a seed, sprouting more difficulties. His suppliers raised their prices, his regular customers moved away, and his coins dwindled like water in desert sand. Then one morning, while arranging his remaining wares, he overheard an old sage speaking of the magnetic power of words. The sage explained how every utterance sends ripples through the fabric of creation, returning threefold to its speaker. This wisdom struck Gino's heart like lightning. That very day, he began to shift his speech. "Abundance flows through my life," he declared as he opened his shop. "Prosperity surrounds my business." Within a fortnight, new customers appeared. His old suppliers offered better terms. The very air in his shop seemed to shimmer with possibility. In a distant city, Rosa put this same principle to test. Where others saw economic hardship, she spoke only of abundance. "Money flows freely to me," she would say, even when her purse held little. She infused these words with unwavering faith, speaking them as if they were already true. Soon, unexpected gifts arrived. A forgotten debt was repaid. A relative shared an investment opportunity. The universe, true to its nature, began echoing back her declarations with mathematical precision. For every affirmation of wealth she spoke, 3 blessings returned. This mirrors an eternal truth. The universe operates as a grand echo chamber. Whatever words you release into its vastness, return magnified. Speak of lack, and lack multiplies. Declare abundance, and abundance expands. Your words are seeds that the universe nurtures to full bloom. The ancient mirror practice. Stand before your mirror at sunrise. Look deeply into your own eyes, for they are windows to your infinite potential. Choose 4 words that embody the essence of wealth, words that make your spirit soar with possibility. Speak these words aloud, feeling them vibrate through every cell of your being. Let each syllable resonate with absolute conviction. Continue until you sense these words humming in your bones, until they feel as natural as your own breath. Trust that as these vibrations ripple outward, the universe multiplies their power, sending back waves of manifestation that match their frequency. This sacred practice, passed down through ages, activates the law of attraction in its purest form. The mirror acts as an amplifier, doubling the power of your declarations. As you witness yourself speaking words of abundance, you strengthen the bridge between thought and manifestation. Chapter 3. The Key Hidden in Speech. In the shadow of ancient mountains lived a craftsman named Vito who fashioned beautiful objects from metal and stone. Though skilled in his craft, his words wove a prison around his prosperity. "I can only earn so much," he would mutter as he worked. "There's a limit to what's possible in this town." Each utterance strengthened the invisible walls around his potential. Day after day, Vito's workshop remained quiet, his creations selling for modest sums that barely sustained him. His talents, bound by the chains of his own speech, could not soar beyond the ceiling he had built with his tongue. Then one morning, a wandering mystic paused at his door. Observing Vito's work, she spoke words that shattered his constraints. "Your words are either locks or keys. Each phrase you speak either seals your fate or opens new doors." This truth pierced Vito's heart. He began examining the phrases that had become his daily companions, realizing how they had fashioned his reality. With conscious effort, he started speaking of possibility instead of limitation. "My craft attracts abundance," he declared while working. "My skills are valued beyond measure." As his words shifted, so did his reality. Wealthy merchants discovered his workshop. Commissions flowed in. The very essence of his craft seemed to transform, as if his hands had been freed from invisible bindings. In a bustling city far away, a young woman named Pia faced similar revelations. Working in a grand merchant house, she had always spoken of future success. "One day, when I'm ready," or "eventually, when the time is right." Her words pushed prosperity eternally into tomorrow. Understanding dawned when she realized her language kept barring the door to present abundance. She changed her declaration to, "I can receive now." She spoke it with certainty, knowing each word turned a key in the lock of limitation. Within a moon cycle, her supervisor recognized her talents. The promotion she had long awaited manifested, not in some distant future, but in the immediate present. Her words had finally aligned with the timing of her blessings. These tales reveal an ageless truth. Language constructs the doorways through which abundance flows. Every word you speak either builds walls or creates openings. The power lies not in complex incantations, but in simple, clear declarations that align with universal law. The key turners practice. As the first light touches the horizon each morning, find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes and envision a golden key in your hand. This key represents your 4 chosen words of power. Whisper these words with reverence, as though each syllable turns the key in an ancient lock. Feel the mechanism of the universe responding to your declaration, opening pathways to abundance that have always existed, waiting for the right key to unlock them. With each repetition, sense the doors of possibility swinging wide. Let your words carry the weight of absolute knowing, for they are the keys that unlock the treasury of universal abundance. Chapter 4. The Tongue as a Compass. In a village among rolling hills lived Dino, a merchant who saw only scarcity. "There's never enough," he would say, watching customers pass his shop. "Times are hard," he muttered daily. and indeed his shelves grew emptier with each passing moon. His words wove a tapestry of lack that hung heavy in the air, drawing more of the same into his life. For years this pattern continued until an old sage visited his shop. As Dino began his familiar lament, the sage raised his hand. "Your tongue charts your course," he said simply. "Each word you speak is a star you steer by." The truth of these words struck Dino's heart. He began watching his speech as one might watch the horizon for signs of weather. Each complaint, he realized, set his ship sailing toward barren shores. In the same village dwelled Lila, a weaver who understood this wisdom. When others spoke of hardship, she would quietly whisper, "Abundance finds me." She repeated these words while working at her loom, letting them weave through her creations. Soon, merchants from distant lands sought her unique patterns. Opportunities appeared as naturally as flowers turning toward the sun. The tongue holds power not unlike a ship's rudder, small yet mighty in determining direction. Every declaration sets a course. Every phrase adjusts the sails. Those who speak of storms often find themselves in troubled waters, while those who speak of safe harbors are guided there by invisible currents. Your words are coordinates on the map of manifestation. Each time you speak, you plot another point on this sacred chart. The universe, like a faithful navigator, follows these coordinates precisely, bringing your ship of life to the exact destination your words have marked. The ancient practice: stand before the rising sun, face turned toward its golden light. Choose 4 words that chart the course toward your desired harbor of prosperity. Speak them with the authority of a captain setting sail for treasured shores. Let your voice carry the certainty of one who knows their destination. Repeat this practice as the sun rises and sets, knowing that your words guide the great ship of your destiny toward abundant shores. Chapter 5. The Sentence That Shifts Seasons. In a quiet village, an old silversmith named Enzo spent his days lamenting the scarcity around him. "Nothing ever changes," he would say, watching frost gather on his workshop windows. His words carried the chill of winter, and so winter remained in his life, season after season. Each morning he would count his meager earnings, muttering, "Never enough, never enough." And true to his words, customers grew sparse, and his craft brought diminishing returns. The more he spoke of scarcity, the more his world constricted, like ice forming over a stream. But one day, while working silver into delicate patterns, he noticed how the metal responded to heat, how it softened, flowed, and transformed. A thought struck him. Perhaps his words carried the same power as his torch, either freezing his fortune or warming it to flow. That evening, he began speaking differently. "Abundance flows like molten silver," he would say while working. "Wealth moves with grace and ease." His voice, once bitter with complaint, now carried the warmth of possibility. Within days, a wealthy merchant arrived, commissioning an entire collection. Soon after, an art collector discovered his work. As Enzo's words changed, so did his reality, like winter yielding to spring. In another part of the village lived Gia, a young weaver who understood this principle intuitively. Each morning she would declare, "Wealth surrounds me like golden threads in sunlight." She treated these words as seeds planted in fertile soil, knowing they would bloom in time. Her tapestries began attracting attention from far-off lands. Opportunities appeared as naturally as flowers in springtime. Her prosperity grew not from force or struggle, but from the gentle power of her chosen words. The universe responds to your declarations as surely as nature responds to the changing of seasons. When you speak of lack, you create a perpetual winter in your financial life. But when you align your speech with abundance, you invoke an eternal spring where prosperity blooms naturally. Your words are not mere sounds in the air. They are instructions to the universal mind, directing the flow of abundance as surely as the sun directs the growth of plants. The law of attraction responds to your speech with perfect precision, manifesting conditions that match your declarations. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space at dawn. Face the rising sun and speak your 4 chosen words of prosperity. Let them carry the warmth of spring's first morning. Repeat them with the certainty that, like seasons changing, your reality must shift to match your declarations. Do this daily until you feel abundance awakening around you, as naturally as flowers opening to sunlight. Chapter 6. The Mouth of Plenty. In a small village among ancient hills, Franco spent his days counting copper coins, muttering about scarcity. "There is never enough," he would say, watching his meager savings dwindle. His words hung heavy in the air like storm clouds, and true to their nature, they rained down exactly what he spoke of: more lack, more worry, more scarcity. Yet in the same village lived Lucia, a woman who understood the sacred power of words. Each morning, as the sun painted the sky in golden hues, she would say with quiet certainty, "Money comes daily." She spoke these words not with desperate hope, but with the calm assurance of one who knows the sun will rise. At first, small changes appeared: a forgotten debt repaid, an unexpected gift, a timely opportunity. As days passed, her simple declaration gained strength. Customers began seeking her services more frequently, opportunities multiplied, and resources flowed as naturally as water down a mountain stream. The universe responds not to the volume of your voice, but to the vibration of your words. Every syllable you speak creates ripples in the invisible fabric of creation, forming the very atmosphere you breathe. When Franco spoke of lack, he created a climate of scarcity around him. When Lucia declared abundance, she transformed the very air into one rich with possibility. Your words are more than mere sounds. They are seeds planted in the fertile soil of reality. Each time you speak, you are gardening your future. The atmosphere you create through your speech becomes the environment where your dreams either flourish or wither. This truth has echoed through the centuries. Your tongue shapes the weather of your life. Speaking of drought brings barren seasons. Declaring abundance makes it rain gold. The air around you now vibrates with the frequencies of your recent declarations. What climate have you been creating? The ancient practice passed down through generations offers this wisdom. As you nourish your body with food, so too can you nourish your spirit with words of plenty. At each meal, when the table is set before you, whisper your 4 chosen words of wealth. Let them mingle with your gratitude for the food, allowing abundance to become as natural and expected as your daily bread. Speak them as though you are already tasting the sweetness of prosperity, for in truth you are. This simple ritual transforms ordinary moments into sacred opportunities for manifestation. As you physically nourish yourself, you simultaneously feed your future with words of power. The very act of eating becomes a ceremony of abundance, each morsel a reminder of the universe's endless capacity to provide. Chapter 7. The Phrase That Opened Doors. In the quiet corners of an ancient marketplace, Santo would watch others discover treasures while believing himself cursed with misfortune. "Opportunity passes me by," he would mutter, and so it did, his words becoming the very chains that bound him to this truth. Through generations, wise ones have whispered that your declarations serve as door knockers in the halls of destiny. Each phrase you speak sends vibrations through the universe, either barring or beckoning what awaits on the other side. Santo learned this wisdom from an elder who noticed his downcast eyes. "Your words," the elder said, "are either locks or keys." With nothing left to lose, Santo began each dawn by stating with quiet certainty, "Fortune greets me." He spoke these words not as a desperate plea, but as one who expects an old friend's arrival. In time, his declaration gained power. A merchant offered partnership, a forgotten investment bore fruit, and paths previously hidden came into view. The very air around him seemed to shimmer with possibility, his words having knocked upon fortune's door until it opened. Vita, watching this transformation, adopted the practice. Rising with the sun, she would declare, "Abundance welcomes me now." Soon, opportunities began appearing as if they had always been waiting, merely requiring her invitation to step through the threshold. The universe's response to their words mirrors an ancient truth. Every declaration serves as a gentle tap upon the doors of creation. When you speak of scarcity, you knock upon doors leading to empty rooms. But when your words ring with abundance, you summon treasures waiting to be claimed. Your voice holds this same power. Each phrase you utter acts as a door knocker, announcing your expectations to the universe. The sound need not be loud. Even a whisper carries enough force to open pathways when aligned with truth. Let this time-honored practice guide your way. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. As you speak your 4 chosen words of wealth, gently tap or knock on any surface, a table, a wall, or even your own heart. Feel each knock sending ripples through the fabric of reality. Imagine doors of opportunity swinging wide, ready to welcome what you have summoned. This simple ritual transforms your words into keys, unlocking the very chambers of abundance you seek. Chapter 8. The Voice of Wealth. In a village among ancient hills, Mario spent his days muttering about scarcity. "Nothing ever comes easily," he would say, watching his small shop gather dust. His words hung heavy in the air like storm clouds, and sure enough, customers grew sparse, invoices piled up, and opportunities slipped away like water through cupped hands. Each morning, he would open his shop door with a sigh, speaking of hardship before the day had even begun. "Business is always slow," he would declare, and the universe, ever faithful to our proclamations, ensured his words rang true. His shelves remained full while his coffers emptied, a testament to the power of his doubtful declarations. In the same village lived Gina, who owned a similar shop across the square. Where Mario spoke of lack, Gina filled her space with words of plenty. "Abundance flows to me now," she would whisper as she turned her key each morning. Her voice carried the certainty of summer sunshine, warm and unwavering. At first, small changes appeared, a new customer here, an unexpected order there. But as Gina maintained her practice of speaking prosperity into being, Remarkable shifts began to unfold. Regular customers brought friends, suppliers offered better terms, and opportunities seemed to materialize from thin air. The contrast between their stores grew stark. Mario's words of doubt had crafted a reality of struggle, while Gina's declarations of abundance had fashioned a world of plenty. The power lay not in their circumstances, but in the quality of their speech. This truth rings eternal. Your voice shapes the atmosphere around you. When you speak of shortage, you construct walls. When you declare abundance, you build bridges. Each word that passes your lips carries a vibration that the universe matches with precise fidelity. Your tongue is more than mere muscle and bone. It is an instrument of creation. The words you choose become the seeds you plant in the fertile soil of possibility. Speaking of wealth with certainty doesn't tempt fate. It aligns you with the natural flow of abundance that surrounds us all. The ancient practice. Stand before a window or under the open sky. Feel the vastness of the universe stretching out before you. Draw in a deep breath, and with the authority of one who knows their power, speak your 4 chosen words. Let your voice carry the strength of mountains and the clarity of morning light. Repeat this 3 times, allowing each repetition to grow stronger, more certain. This is not a plea to the universe. It is a declaration of what is already yours. As you stand before the endless expanse, remember that the sky itself is but a mirror of your own boundless soul. Each breath you draw connects you to the unseen currents that weave through creation, binding star to star, thought to thought, destiny to destiny. When you speak your chosen words, you are not simply making sounds. You are striking chords upon the hidden harp of existence. With every repetition, the vibration you release threads itself deeper into the fabric of the unseen. The mountains hear you. The winds carry your voice to places your body cannot reach. The stillness between heartbeats opens, and the great intelligence of the universe listens with unwavering attention. In that silence, what you declare becomes as real as the earth beneath your feet and the sky arching overhead. This act is a rite, ancient and eternal. It is the meeting point between will and wonder, where desire ceases to be a mere hope and is transfigured into reality. By speaking not as a seeker but as a sovereign, you claim your inheritance as a co-creator with the infinite, and as your words ripple outward, they return to you multiplied, carrying the essence of all that you have already become. Chapter 9. The Spoken Seed. In a quiet valley where ancient trees whispered wisdom to those who listened, Rico spent his evenings tending a small garden. Yet while his physical seeds flourished, the seeds of his words yielded a different harvest. "There's never enough," he would mutter while working the soil. "Everything costs too much these days," he'd say, scattering his worries like weeds across his thoughts. As surely as his vegetables grew according to their kind, Rico's words of lack sprouted into experiences of scarcity. His bills seemed to multiply like thorns, his savings withered, and his attempts at prosperity wilted before they could take root. In the same valley lived Anna, who understood a deeper truth about planting. Each night she would pause before sleep and whisper words of abundance into the fertile darkness. "Wealth grows naturally for me," she would say, her voice soft but certain. Like a gardener who trusts in the invisible process of growth, she planted these words faithfully. knowing that every seed requires time to sprout. Gradually, her financial garden began to bloom. Opportunities emerged like spring flowers after rain. Resources appeared as naturally as fruit ripening on the vine. What began as tiny seeds of prosperous thoughts grew into an abundant harvest of manifestation. The universe operates with the precision of nature's laws. Just as a maple seed can only become a maple tree, words of lack can only produce more lack. But plant the seeds of abundance, and abundance must grow. It is the law of spiritual harvest. Your words are seeds that take root in the soil of consciousness. Each time you speak, you are planting something that will grow into experience. This is not metaphor, but principle, as real as gravity, as reliable as the seasons. When you choose words of prosperity, you are selecting premium seeds for your garden of experience. These are not empty hopes scattered on barren ground, but powerful catalysts planted in fertile soil. Every declaration sends roots deep into the creative substance of the universe. The ancient practice. As you prepare for sleep, when the world grows quiet and your mind is most receptive, create a sacred moment. Lie comfortably and allow your breath to become soft and regular. In this peaceful state, speak your 4 chosen words with the gentleness of placing seeds in rich earth. Let them settle into the silence. Trust that while you sleep, these words are taking root in the fertile soil of universal mind, growing into the prosperity that will manifest in your waking hours. This practice, carried out with faith and consistency, ensures your garden of abundance will flourish. Chapter 10. The Language of Receiving. In a village among rolling hills, Nino spent his days uttering phrases of refusal. "I can't afford that," he would say, or "That's not for someone like me." With each denial, another door would seal shut, another path would fade away. His words wove a web around him, trapping him in a cycle of scarcity. Through the passing seasons, Nino watched as opportunities drifted past like autumn leaves on the wind, always just beyond his grasp. His tongue had become a lock, securing him in a prison of his own making. Yet the universe waited patiently, ready to answer a different call. In the same village lived Ruby, who understood the ancient wisdom that words are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe. Each morning she would rise with the sun and speak her truth. "I always receive." She understood that these words were not mere sounds, but invitations sent into the infinite. As Ruby continued her practice, the universe began to respond. First came small gifts, an unexpected refund, a forgotten debt repaid. Then larger blessings flowed, new clients seeking her services, opportunities for growth appearing as if summoned by her voice. Her words had become keys, unlocking gates that had always existed but remained unseen. The truth reveals itself. Your speech serves as currency in the cosmic exchange. Each word you utter is a coin cast into the well of possibility. When you speak of receiving, the universe arranges itself to ensure delivery. When you declare openness to abundance, channels align to bring it forth. This wisdom echoes through the ages. The tongue that speaks of receiving becomes a magnet for blessings. Your declarations are not mere wishes cast into the void. They are commands that the universe must honor. Like Ruby, you hold this power in your mouth. The ancient practice of open reception. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Stand with your feet planted firmly on the ground, connecting to the earth beneath you. Raise your hands before you, palms facing upward in a gesture of receiving. Take 3 deep breaths to center yourself in this moment of power. Now, speak your 4 chosen words of prosperity while maintaining this receptive posture. Feel each word vibrate through your being as you remain open to receive. This is not merely speaking. It is declaring your readiness to accept the abundance that awaits. Part 2. The Frequency of Abundance. Chapter 11. The Money Melody. In a small village among ancient hills, Pino spent his days muttering words of lack. Never enough, he would whisper as he counted his meager coins. Always struggling, he sighed while gazing at empty shelves. His life became a mirror of these whispered fears. Opportunities passed him by, ventures failed, and his purse grew lighter with each passing season. In the same village lived Sophia, who understood the sacred power of harmonious speech. Each morning, she would sing her prosperity affirmations like sweet melodies to the rising sun. Abundance flows freely. Her voice rang clear as temple bells. Wealth embraces me now, she declared with the gentleness of flowing water. As months passed, a striking contrast emerged between their paths. While Pino's mumbled complaints attracted more reasons to complain, Sophia's melodious declarations drew prosperity like moths to flame. Her small shop flourished, unexpected gifts arrived, and opportunities danced into her life with the rhythm of her spoken songs. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds not just to the words you speak, but to the vibration they carry. Each syllable sends ripples through the cosmic fabric, attracting experiences that match its frequency. When you speak of lack with a trembling voice, that very tremor magnetizes more uncertainty. But when you voice abundance with the sureness of a song, that melody becomes the music to which your prosperity dances. Your words are not mere sounds. They are notes in the symphony of creation. Like Sophia, you must learn to sing your prosperity into being. The universe doesn't respond to volume, but to vibration. A whispered truth carries more power than a shouted doubt. This ancient wisdom teaches that wealth responds to the harmony of your speech. When your words ring with certainty, abundance cannot help but answer their call. The key lies not in forcing your voice, but in allowing it to carry the natural resonance of unwavering faith. For this sacred practice, find a quiet space as day yields to dusk. Sit in stillness and allow your chosen 4 words to rise naturally from your heart. Let them flow from your lips as though singing a lullaby to wealth itself. Your voice need not be loud. It need only be true. Like a mother's gentle song to her child, let these words carry the tender assurance that prosperity is already here, already listening, already responding to your call. This is the language of receiving, not a demand, but a loving invitation. Not a plea, but a song of welcome. As you practice this, feel how the vibration of your words transforms the very air around you, creating a frequency that wealth recognizes as home. Actionable practice. In the quiet of evening, sit in peaceful solitude. Cup your hands gently before you, as though holding something precious. With eyes softly closed, begin to chant your 4 chosen words in a gentle melodic way. Let them flow as naturally as a lullaby, knowing that wealth itself is being sung into being. Continue this gentle chant for 7 breaths, allowing each repetition to deepen your connection to the prosperity you're calling forth. Chapter 12. The Wealth Current. In a riverside town, Aldo's words flowed like troubled waters. "Money slips away," he would say, watching his wealth drain like a leaking vessel. His language created eddies of lack that pulled him deeper into financial struggle. Each negative phrase became a weight, dragging him further from the shores of abundance. Rita lived by the same river, yet she understood the fluid nature of prosperity. She observed how water never fought its path but flowed naturally toward its destination. This wisdom transformed her speech. "Prosperity flows," she declared, with the smoothness of a gentle stream. Her words became like clear waters, carrying her toward greater abundance. The universe moves like water. It follows the channel of your words. When you speak of struggle, you create rapids that churn against your desires. But when your speech flows with abundance, the current of prosperity carries you naturally toward your dreams. Your tongue shapes the stream of your experience. Every word either dams the flow of wealth or opens new channels for its arrival. The ancient ones knew this truth. Speech creates currents in the cosmic waters. These currents become the rivers that carry your ship toward fortune or away from it. Notice how water never strains. It simply flows where channels appear. Similarly, prosperity moves through the pathways created by your words. When your language aligns with abundance, wealth flows as naturally as a river finding its way to the sea. This wisdom reveals that prosperity prefers flow over force. Like water, it cannot be grabbed or held too tightly. Instead, it must be allowed to stream freely through the channels of your speech. Your words become the banks that guide this flow, directing the current of abundance in your life. The ancient practice below will help you align your speech with the natural flow of prosperity. Actionable practice. Find a quiet place near flowing water, a stream, fountain, or even running tap. Let your hand feel the water's movement. Speak your 4 chosen words in rhythm with the flow, allowing them to stream naturally from your lips. Continue until the words feel as alive and flowing as the water itself. Let this practice remind you that prosperity, like water, flows most freely when given clear channels through your speech. Chapter 13. The Rich Frequency. A merchant once wandered through distant lands, carrying nothing but sorrow in his heart and complaints on his tongue. Tino spoke endlessly of his misfortunes, of markets that failed him, of coins that slipped through his fingers. With each step, his words grew heavier, pulling him deeper into the quicksand of scarcity. The universe moves in currents of energy, responding to the frequency your words emit. Like water finding its level, abundance flows naturally toward those who maintain elevated vibrations through their speech. When you speak of lack, you tune yourself to lack's frequency. When you declare prosperity, you rise to meet wealth's current. Tino's lamentations created ripples of matching frequency, drawing more experiences that matched his words of lack. "Nothing ever works," he would say, and surely nothing did. "Money always eludes me," he declared, and so it was. His words became anchors, weighing him down in the very waters meant to lift him. Yet, in the same marketplace walked Carla, a weaver whose words danced like silk in the wind. She understood the secret of frequency. That language carries electrical charge, that every syllable sends signals into the infinite. Each morning, she would raise her voice in celebration of abundance. Prosperity flows freely to me. Her words sparkled with certainty, lifting her energy to match the frequency of wealth. Soon, her tapestries began selling at prices that astonished the other merchants. Opportunities arose as naturally as breath. Those seeking fine goods found themselves drawn to her stall, guided by the invisible current her words had created. The difference lay not in their circumstances, but in their frequencies. While Tino's words kept him submerged in scarcity's shallow waters, Carla's declarations lifted her into abundance's swift stream. She had mastered the art of maintaining wealth's frequency through conscious speech. Your words are more than mere sounds. They are vibrational keys unlocking corresponding experiences. Each declaration either lifts you into prosperity's current or anchors you in lack's stagnant pools. The choice of frequency remains yours with every utterance. Ancient practice. Stand tall before the rising sun, feet planted firmly on the earth. Raise your arms slightly, palms facing upward. Speaking with clear intention, let your 4 chosen words of wealth rise from deep within, feeling their vibration lift through your body. Allow each word to ring with increasing resonance, as though calling to the highest frequencies of abundance. Repeat this 3 times, sensing yourself rising to meet prosperity's natural flow. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Verbal Miracle. In the quiet mountains lived Lino, a woodcarver who scoffed at the notion that words could transform his fortunes. Each morning he shaped beautiful figures from fallen branches, yet his pockets remained as empty as his faith in abundance. "What good are mere words?" he would mutter, watching his meager earnings dwindle. One dawn, exhausted from worry, he encountered an old woman who sat peacefully by a stream. Her presence radiated an inexplicable richness, though she carried nothing but a small pouch. "Your hands create beauty," she observed, "but your mouth creates poverty." She taught him to say, "Wealth is here," with the same certainty he felt about the sun's rising. At first, Lino resisted, feeling foolish. But remembering the radiance that surrounded the woman, he began speaking these words each morning before touching his tools. Within days, a merchant arrived, seeking not one but dozens of his carvings for a distant palace. As his confidence grew, more opportunities flowed. Collectors discovered his work, students requested teachings, and his art found homes in places he had never imagined. In a distant valley lived Tina, who tended gardens but struggled to sustain herself. Like Lino, she questioned how words could alter her reality. Yet when she began declaring, "Abundance surrounds me," while planting her seeds, remarkable changes blossomed. Neighbors offered to sell her produce at the market, a restaurateur sought her herbs exclusively, and her small plot expanded into a flourishing enterprise. The universe responds not to the words themselves, but to the frequency they carry. When you speak with certainty about wealth, you align with abundance's natural flow. Each declaration sends ripples through the cosmic fabric, attracting corresponding experiences. Those who master this understanding no longer view words as mere sounds, but as keys that unlock specific frequencies of reality. Your voice holds this same power. The words you speak are not empty vessels, but carriers of creative force. When you declare abundance with unwavering faith, you tune yourself to wealth's frequency. This is not magic, but natural law. Like attracts like, and certain speech attracts certain circumstances. Practice. Stand before a mirror at sunrise or sunset. Observe your reflection and speak your 4 chosen words of wealth with the same certainty you feel about gravity's pull. Let each syllable resonate with absolute knowing, as though the manifestation already exists. Maintain eye contact with yourself, allowing wonder to fill your expression as you witness the power of your own voice shaping reality. Repeat this ritual until your words carry the unmistakable ring of truth fulfilled. Chapter 15. The Sacred Sound. In a bustling market square, Reno spent his days counting losses instead of blessings. His words carried the weight of perpetual defeat. Nothing ever works. Money slips away. I can't get ahead. Each utterance sank deeper into the fabric of his existence, and the universe faithfully mirrored his declarations. Customers grew sparse, his wares gathered dust, and his ledger told tales of diminishing returns. As shadows lengthened across his empty stall one evening, an elder merchant named Mira noticed his despair. Her own journey had taught her the sacred power of speech. Years prior, she had transformed her failing trade by replacing words of lack with declarations of abundance. "Riches surround me," she would whisper each dawn before the market stirred to life. The transformation began subtly, a customer here, an opportunity there. Yet as her words gained strength through repetition, prosperity flowed with increasing momentum. Her simple declaration became a bridge between scarcity and abundance, each utterance drawing forth new manifestations of wealth. Your words carry this same creative force. When you speak, you engage in a sacred dialogue with the universe. Each phrase acts as a prayer, setting in motion forces that shape your reality with precision and speed. The ancient ones understood this. They knew that speech was not merely communication, but communion with the forces that govern existence. The universe does not distinguish between casual muttering and intentional prayer. It responds to all declarations with equal faithfulness. When you speak of lack, lack appears. When you declare abundance, abundance manifests. This is the law that governs all creation, as constant as the rising sun. Consider how water shapes stone not through force, but through persistent contact. Similarly, your words shape reality not through volume, but through consistent vibration. Each time you speak of wealth with reverence, you carve new channels through which abundance can flow. The most potent moment for this practice lies in those first precious moments of dawn, when the veil between intention and manifestation grows thin. Here, before the world's noise intrudes, your words carry their greatest power. Like seeds planted in fertile soil, they take root in the silence and grow throughout your day. Practice. As the first light touches the horizon, before engaging with the world, find a quiet space. Take 3 deep breaths to clear your mind of yesterday's thoughts. Then, with the reverence of one handling something precious, whisper your 4 chosen words of wealth. Let them float on your breath, like incense rising in a sacred chamber. Feel each syllable as it forms on your tongue, knowing these sounds carry the power to reshape your reality. This is not mere routine, but a daily renewal of your covenant with abundance. Chapter 16. Vibrations of Value. In ancient days, a merchant named Guido sat at his stall in the bustling marketplace, muttering under his breath about his meager earnings. "Nothing ever comes to me," he would say, watching potential customers pass by without a glance. Day after day, his words of worthlessness hung like a heavy cloud above his head, and his wares remained unsold. In the same marketplace, a woman named Nella set up her simple table of herbs and spices. Unlike Guido, she began each morning by standing tall and declaring, "I am worthy of abundance." She spoke these words with quiet certainty, letting them ring through the air like temple bells. Soon merchants sought her counsel, customers praised her wisdom, and her small enterprise grew into a thriving trade. The universe responds to the value you place upon yourself through your words. When you speak of unworthiness, the world mirrors back exactly what you proclaim. But when you declare your worth with conviction, the universe conspires to reflect that truth in all your affairs. Your words are not mere sounds floating in the air. They are sacred vibrations that echo through the chambers of creation. Each time you speak of lack, you diminish your light. Each time you declare your worth, you expand your capacity to receive. Words of worth carry a particular resonance that unlocks the gates of prosperity. They transform the invisible threads of possibility into tangible manifestations. This is not mere coincidence, but the operation of an immutable universal law. Notice how those who prosper speak differently about themselves and their relation to abundance. They do not beg or plead with the universe. They state their worth as a simple truth. Their words carry the weight of certainty, and that certainty becomes the foundation upon which their prosperity is built. The ancient practice remains true today. Stand before the rising sun and speak your worth into existence. Let your voice carry the authority of one who knows their value. The universe will have no choice but to respond in kind. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment at sunrise. Stand facing the east, feet planted firmly on the ground. Take 3 deep breaths to center yourself. Then, with unwavering conviction, speak your 4 chosen words of worth. Let them resonate from your core, as though you are announcing your value to the universe itself. Repeat this declaration 3 times, each time allowing the words to grow stronger and more certain. Feel their vibrations settle into your being, knowing that as you declare your worth, so shall it be reflected in your reality. Chapter 17. The Prosperity Spell. In the ancient marketplace, Arlo spent his days counting what he lacked. "Not enough" became his daily refrain, each utterance weaving a tighter web of limitation around his life. His stall remained empty while others flourished. His purse grew lighter as others prospered. The more he spoke of scarcity, the more it manifested in his reality. Watching from her neighboring stall, Rena understood the invisible threads that bound Arlo's fortune. She had learned from a wandering sage that words carry vibrational essence, each syllable emanating waves that ripple through the fabric of existence. The sage taught her that speech acts as an enchantment, continuously casting spells of abundance or lack. Every sunrise, Rena would touch her heart and speak her chosen words with unwavering faith. Her voice carried the certainty of one who knows the secret workings of the universe. She treated these words as sacred incantations, allowing their power to resonate through her being. The universe responds to the energy contained within words, not merely their meaning. When you declare lack, you weave that energy into your experience. When you speak of abundance, you cast a spell of prosperity. Your words are more potent than any potion. They are the very essence of creation itself. Each statement you utter sends forth invisible ripples, attracting circumstances that match their frequency. Those who remain trapped in cycles of want often fail to recognize how their own speech perpetuates their condition. The path to abundance begins with transforming the vibration of your words. Just as Rena discovered, your voice holds the power to enchant your reality. The 4 words you choose become your daily incantation, your personal spell of prosperity. When spoken with conviction, they alter the very fabric of your experience, drawing forth opportunities that align with their energy. The art lies not in forcing or straining, but in allowing your words to flow with natural grace. Like a gentle stream that gradually shapes the landscape, your consistent speaking of prosperity-affirming words steadily transforms your financial reality. Practice. The prosperity enchantment. Find a quiet space where you feel connected to the sacred nature of this practice. Stand with your palms facing upward, as though ready to receive. Speak your 4 chosen words with the gentle authority of one who understands their power. Let each word float from your lips like golden light, filling the space around you. Repeat this enchantment 3 times, allowing the vibration of each word to resonate through your being. Feel the energy of prosperity beginning to weave itself into the fabric of your day. Chapter 18. The Language Ladder. In a small village among ancient hills, Vince carried a heavy burden. Each morning he would look at his empty storehouse and mutter, "Nothing ever works for me." His words fell like stones, each utterance dragging him deeper into the depths of lack. As seasons passed, his fortunes matched his speech, descending steadily into deeper struggles. In the same village dwelled Laura, who understood the ascending nature of words. When facing similar circumstances, she would lift her eyes skyward and declare, "Abundance rises within me." With each statement, her energy would elevate, as though climbing an invisible staircase toward prosperity. The universe operates through levels of vibration. Your words act as steps, either lifting you toward abundance or lowering you into scarcity. Each phrase you speak carries a specific frequency that determines your position on the prosperity spectrum. Like notes on a musical scale, your words can either rise toward harmony or descend into discord. When you continuously speak of limitation, you anchor yourself to lower vibrations. Yet when you choose words that resonate with abundance, you begin an upward journey. This ascension is not merely metaphorical. It manifests in tangible shifts within your reality. The power lies not in the volume of your speech, but in its direction. Quiet words spoken with upward intention carry more force than loud declarations tinged with doubt. Your chosen words become the rungs of a ladder, each utterance lifting you closer to your desired state of prosperity. Notice how your energy shifts when you speak of lack versus when you declare abundance. Feel the difference between phrases that weigh you down and those that buoy your spirit. This awareness alone begins to transform your relationship with the words you choose. The universe responds not to the length of your declarations, but to their ascending quality. 4 words spoken with rising energy can elevate your frequency more effectively than lengthy speeches rooted in doubt. Like Laura discovered, your prosperity grows in direct proportion to the uplift in your words. Practice the rising declaration. Stand in a peaceful space and ground yourself firmly. Imagine before you a magnificent staircase of light, each step glowing with potential. As you speak your first chosen word, feel yourself stepping onto the first level. With each subsequent word, take another step upward, allowing your energy to rise. Your entire being lifts with each word, ascending toward prosperity. Complete this practice thrice, feeling the elevation grow stronger with each repetition. Let each word carry you higher into the frequency of abundance. Chapter 19. Call and Response of Cash. In a small village among ancient hills, Paolo lived in perpetual want. Each morning, his first words shaped his destiny. "I never have enough," he would say, watching his meager earnings slip away like water through cupped hands. His language became a descending spiral, each complaint carrying him deeper into scarcity's embrace. The villagers whispered of Alma, whose fortunes had shifted mysteriously. She had discovered the ascending power of words, treating them as rungs on a mystical ladder. Where once she had dwelled in lack's shadow, she now spoke with certainty. "Abundance flows to me." Her words floated upward like lanterns in the night sky, each one illuminating new possibilities. The universe listens with perfect attention to the songs we sing. When Paolo lamented his empty purse, the cosmic forces could only echo his declaration of emptiness. But Alma's clear, confident calls rang out like temple bells, summoning prosperity with each resonant tone. Your words are not mere sounds dissolving in the air. They are magnetic frequencies drawing experiences that match their vibration. Every declaration you make becomes a step, either ascending toward abundance or descending toward lack. The universe responds not to your wishes or your wants, but to your words, those powerful proclamations that shape the very fabric of your reality. When you speak of wealth with certainty, you create invisible rungs that lead upward. Each affirmation becomes a step on this ethereal ladder, lifting you higher into prosperity's realm. The secret lies not in the volume of your voice, but in the unwavering certainty with which you call forth abundance. Like Alma, you must treat your chosen words as names, powerful identifiers that summon exactly what you seek. Just as calling someone's name turns their head, speaking words of wealth with certainty captures abundance's attention. The universe cannot help but respond when you call with such clarity and conviction. Ancient practice of calling. Find a quiet space where your voice can resonate freely. Stand tall, feeling yourself grounded, yet ready to ascend. Choose your 4 words of power, your declaration of prosperity. Speak them clearly, as though calling out to a dear friend you know will answer. Pause after each word, leaving space for the echo to return. Let your voice carry the certainty of one who knows their call will be answered. Repeat this practice 3 times daily, treating each repetition as a step upward on prosperity's ladder. Chapter 20. The Affirmation Bridge. In a land where mountains touched clouds, Salvo stood gazing at wealth from afar. His words created an invisible chasm between himself and abundance. "It's too far away," he would sigh, and with each utterance the distance seemed to grow. His language became the very barrier he feared, stretching wider with every doubtful declaration. Yet in the same land lived Lenny, who understood the architectural power of speech. Where others saw gaps, she built bridges with her words. Each morning she would declare, "Wealth flows easily to me now." Her affirmations laid golden planks across the void, creating pathways where none had existed before. The universe responds to speech as water responds to vessels, taking the shape of whatever contains it. When you speak of separation, you construct walls. When you speak of connection, you build bridges. Your words are not mere expressions of thought. They are the very materials from which your reality is fashioned. Each time you open your mouth, you either widen the gap between yourself and prosperity or lay another plank across it. The space between where you stand and where abundance dwells is crossed not by physical steps, but by the invisible architecture of your declarations. Think of your words as master builders, each one placing another stone, another beam, another cable in the bridge that carries you to wealth. When you speak with certainty of prosperity, you strengthen this crossing. When you declare your connection to abundance, you make the path more solid. The ancient ones knew this truth, that speech creates passages through seemingly impassable terrain. They understood that the journey to prosperity requires no physical movement, only the steady construction of bridges through powerful words. Sacred bridge. Practice. Find a peaceful space and stand quietly, feeling the ground beneath your feet. Envision before you a magnificent golden bridge, its surface gleaming with promise. This is the bridge your words have built, spanning the space between your present and your prosperity. Take a deep breath and speak your 4 chosen words with quiet authority. As each word leaves your lips, see yourself taking a step forward on this radiant crossing. Feel the solid gold beneath your feet. Know that your words make the bridge more real with each speaking. Complete your crossing 3 times, allowing each journey to strengthen your connection to abundance. Your words are not mere sounds. They are the very substance of the bridge carrying you into wealth's embrace. Part 3. Embodying the Creative Word. Chapter 21. The Spoken Crown. In the quiet mountains there lived a merchant named Marcello who perpetually spoke of his unworthiness of wealth. "Money belongs to others," he would mutter as he arranged his modest wares each morning. His words built invisible walls between himself and abundance, and though opportunities passed near, they never seemed to touch him. The universe hears every declaration, matching your energy with precise reflection. When you crown yourself with noble speech, the world responds to your self-proclaimed sovereignty. This truth became clear through the story of Bella, who lived in the same village as Marcello. Bella worked as a simple weaver, yet she understood the royal nature of her spirit. Each dawn she would stand before her loom and declare, "Wealth flows through my hands." She spoke these words not with arrogance, but with the quiet certainty of one who knows their birthright. As she wove her threads, she wove this truth into the fabric of her reality. Within months, nobles began seeking her craftsmanship. Her simple declarations had shifted the energy around her work, attracting those who recognized its value. While Marcello's words kept him in scarcity, Bella's affirmations drew abundance naturally to her door. The power lies not in external validation, but in self-proclamation. Your words are the crown you place upon your own head. When you speak with the authority of one who knows their worth, the universe arranges itself to match your declaration. This is not pride, but truth. You are heir to unlimited abundance. Let this wisdom echo in your spirit. Wealth responds not to worthiness, but to welcome. It flows not to those who beg, but to those who command with quiet authority. Your speech holds the power to enthrone you in prosperity's realm. Just as Bella transformed her reality through conscious declaration, you too can speak yourself into abundance. The words you choose become the jewels in your crown, each affirmation a gem that attracts its matching reflection in the physical world. Ancient practice. Stand before a mirror in the quiet of morning. Straighten your spine as though invisible hands were placing a crown upon your head. Speak your 4 chosen words of wealth while slowly lifting your chin, feeling the regal energy of one who knows their rightful place in abundance's kingdom. Let this practice remind you, you are not asking for prosperity. You are claiming your inheritance. Chapter 22. The Invitation of Words. In ancient times there lived a merchant named Fabio who dwelled in a grand marketplace. Though surrounded by abundance, his words pushed prosperity away. "Money avoids me," he would mutter as he arranged his wares each morning. "Business never comes," he'd sigh while watching customers pass by his stall. With each negative declaration, his prophecies manifested. Coins grew scarce and patrons grew fewer. In the same marketplace stood Dina, whose modest stall radiated welcome. She understood the sacred power of invitation through speech. Each dawn, she would arrange her simple goods while saying, "Abundance, you are welcome here." She greeted every person, customer or not, with "Blessings flow freely today." Her words created an invisible doorway through which prosperity could enter. The universe responds to the quality of your welcome. When you speak as though wealth is an honored guest, it arrives with grace. Your words are the invitation that abundance awaits. Just as you would prepare your home for a cherished visitor, your speech prepares the way for prosperity's arrival. The ancient teachings reveal that wealth responds to warmth in your voice. It seeks those who speak to it with genuine appreciation, like a friend being welcomed home after a long journey. The tone of your invitation matters as much as the words themselves. Speak with the warmth of one who knows their guest will surely come. Notice how your current speech either welcomes or unwittingly turns away prosperity. Does your language roll out the red carpet or build barriers? The universe hears every word as an instruction, either stay away or enter here. By consciously choosing words of welcome, you create the conditions for abundance to feel at home in your life. Your relationship with wealth begins with how you address it. Speak to prosperity as you would to an honored guest you've long awaited. Let your words carry the energy of celebration, as though preparing for a joyful reunion. The universe responds precisely to the level of welcome in your voice. The practice. Find a quiet moment at sunrise or sunset. Stand at your doorway or window, facing east if possible. Imagine wealth as a golden light approaching from the distance. With genuine warmth in your voice, whisper your 4 chosen words as though inviting this light to make its home with you. Feel the sincerity of welcome in every syllable, knowing that what you invite with pure intent must surely come. Chapter 23. the abundance anthem. In a distant valley, a craftsman named Rafa worked diligently at his trade. Though skilled with his hands, his tongue worked against him. "Nothing ever changes," he would say, his voice heavy with resignation. "Money slips away," became his daily refrain. As surely as water shapes stone, his words carved deeper channels of lack into his experience. Not far away lived Nori, who understood the music hidden within words. She transformed her daily speech into songs of abundance. Like a musician finding perfect pitch, she tuned her words to the frequency of prosperity. "Wealth flows endlessly now," she would sing while working. Her phrases carried the certainty of a familiar melody, one that the universe couldn't help but dance to. Your words create a song that the universe must echo. When you speak of lack, you compose a melody of limitation. But when you lift your voice in declarations of abundance, you create music that prosperity cannot resist joining. The vibration of your chosen words matters more than their volume. Even a whisper, when aligned with truth, resounds through the corridors of creation. The ancient masters understood that prosperity responds to rhythm. They knew that words spoken with musical certainty carried greater power than those muttered in doubt. Your voice becomes an instrument playing either discord or harmony with the universe's natural abundance. Think of your 4 chosen words as notes in an eternal song. They are not mere sounds, but vibrations that ripple through the fabric of reality. When you speak them with the confidence of a familiar anthem, they begin to pulse with life. The universe recognizes this rhythm and moves to match it, bringing your outer world into harmony with your spoken song. The practice. Stand in solitude where your voice can rise freely. Begin softly, speaking your 4 chosen words of wealth. Gradually let them find their natural rhythm, as though they were lyrics to an anthem you've always known. Allow the words to rise and fall with your breath until they seem to sing themselves within you. Continue until you feel their vibration in your very being, knowing that this is the song your future echoes back to you. Chapter 24. The Verbal Magnet. A shepherd named Leo wandered the hills, his lips constantly forming words of lack. "Nothing ever comes to me," he would mutter, watching his thin flock graze on sparse grass. Day after day, his bitter speech scattered potential buyers from his path, leaving him with fewer sheep each season. In the same village lived Cora, a weaver whose life transformed through the power of intentional speech. Each morning she stood before her loom, speaking 4 chosen words with unwavering certainty. Her voice carried the texture of silk, smooth and strong, as she wove both cloth and possibility with her declarations. The universe responds to the magnetic force of words spoken with conviction. When you utter phrases of scarcity, you create an invisible barrier, pushing away the very abundance that seeks to reach you. But when you speak with the certainty of one who knows their worth, you generate a magnetic field that draws prosperity closer. Cora understood this hidden law. Her 4 words, repeated with the steadiness of a heartbeat, became a force that pulled opportunities toward her like metal to a lodestone. Merchants who once passed by her door now stopped, drawn by an inexplicable urge to examine her wares. Her prices, once questioned, were now accepted without hesitation. The very air around her workshop seemed charged with potential. Your words carry this same magnetic power. Each phrase you speak sends out a signal, creating either attraction or repulsion. The universe does not judge whether you deserve abundance. It simply responds to the magnetic quality of your speech. When you declare prosperity with conviction, you activate an ancient law that has guided seekers of wealth since time began. Leo learned this truth from watching Cora's transformation. He noticed how her certain speech drew abundance as naturally as water flows downhill. Following her example, he began speaking words of prosperity while tending his flock. Within months, his sheep grew healthier, their wool thicker, and buyers appeared with generous offers. The key lies not in the volume of your voice, but in the unwavering certainty behind your words. Like Cora at her loom, weaving threads into beautiful patterns, you weave energy with your speech. Each declaration of abundance strengthens the magnetic field around you, drawing prosperity closer. The ancient ones knew this power. They understood that words spoken with certainty become commands to the universal forces. Your voice, when aligned with this truth, becomes a magnet for abundance. Practice. Stand in silence, feeling the power held within your tongue. Choose your 4 words of prosperity carefully. Speak them while extending your hands, palms facing inward, as though physically pulling abundance toward you. Feel the magnetic force growing stronger with each repetition. Let your words create a field of attraction so powerful that wealth has no choice but to respond to your call. Chapter 25. The Declaration of Wealth. In the quiet hours before dawn, Gianni stood at his mirror, mumbling uncertainties. Maybe money will come. I hope things get better. His voice wavered, uncertain and weak. Each hesitant phrase drifted away like smoke, dissolving into nothingness. For years, he watched others prosper, while he remained caught in the same financial struggles. His whispered doubts formed a wall between him and abundance. In the same village lived Leda, who understood the magnetic force of decisive speech. She discovered that wealth responds not to wishful thinking, but to unwavering declaration. Each morning she stood tall, her voice clear and commanding. Abundance flows to me now. The universe, hearing her certainty, had no choice but to comply. Within weeks, unexpected opportunities emerged. A forgotten investment doubled in value. A client referred 3 more. Her business flourished as though guided by an invisible hand. The truth revealed itself. The universe mirrors your certainty. When you speak with conviction, the laws of attraction align with precision. Hesitation creates delay. Doubt breeds more reasons to doubt. But firm declaration, it commands reality itself. Money, like all energy, follows the path of least resistance. It flows naturally toward those who speak its language with authority. Your words either form a clear channel or create static interference. The difference lies not in volume, but in certainty. Think of your words as magnets. Weak statements generate weak pulling power. Strong declarations create an irresistible force. The universe doesn't respond to maybe or hopefully. It answers I am, and it is. This wisdom echoes through the ages. The one who declares with certainty shapes reality itself. Your voice carries creative power. Each word you speak sends ripples through the fabric of existence, attracting or repelling prosperity according to its strength. When you realize this truth, you understand why some seem to effortlessly attract wealth while others struggle despite their efforts. It's not luck or circumstance. It's the magnetic force of their declarations. The ancient practice. Stand before a mirror at sunrise. Plant your feet firmly on the ground. Look into your own eyes with unwavering focus. Now, proclaim your 4 chosen words of wealth with the authority of one who knows their power. Speak them not as a wish, but as a law already in effect. Let your voice carry the weight of absolute certainty. Do this 3 times, feeling the magnetic force build with each declaration. Chapter 26. The Rich Reminder. Through the winding streets of an ancient town, Dario wandered in a trance of forgetfulness. Each day blurred into the next as he sleepwalked through his financial life. His mind drifted into patterns of scarcity, letting opportunities pass by unseen. Like many, he had glimpsed abundance but allowed it to fade from memory, treating wealth as a distant dream rather than a present reality. In the same town lived Elsa, who discovered that prosperity requires constant awakening. She understood that the mind, left unattended, defaults to old patterns of lack, but she found a way to keep wealth awake in her consciousness. 4 simple words, spoken whenever her attention wandered, served as bells of remembrance. Abundance flows here and now. When paying bills, she spoke her words. While walking to market, she whispered them. As she worked, they hummed in her thoughts. Each repetition refreshed her connection to prosperity's presence. Soon her mind no longer needed reminding. Wealth became her natural state. The universe operates through consciousness. What you forget, you cannot receive. What you remember, you attract. Your words serve as awakeners, keeping your energy aligned with abundance. Each time you speak them, you refresh your connection to universal supply. Think of your chosen words as alarm clocks for abundance. When your mind begins to drift toward lack, they ring you back to prosperity consciousness. These verbal reminders maintain your frequency at the level where wealth naturally flows. Money responds to consistent awareness. Let your attention wander, and abundance seems to sleep. Keep it awake through regular affirmation, and watch how quickly prosperity responds. Your words are not creating wealth. They are maintaining your awareness of its constant presence. This knowledge has been preserved through generations. What you consistently remember through speech becomes your living reality. Your words keep the channels of abundance open and flowing. Each reminder reinforces the truth that wealth is your natural state. The ancient practice. Throughout your day, whenever you notice your mind drifting toward thoughts of lack or limitation, pause. Take a breath. Speak your 4 chosen words of wealth clearly and calmly. Let them serve as gentle reminders of prosperity's constant presence. Whether standing in line, waiting in traffic, or between tasks, use these moments to awaken abundance through your speech. Your words will keep reality aligned with wealth's frequency, ensuring that prosperity remains active in your experience. Chapter 27. The Prosperous Pulse. In a bustling marketplace, Bruno rushed through his days, his words spilling out in anxious bursts. "I need money. I need money," he would mutter frantically, his speech as erratic as his thoughts. His scattered energy created a chaotic rhythm that disturbed the natural flow of abundance. Like a musician playing out of time, His disjointed patterns kept him separated from wealth's steady stream. Yet in the same marketplace stood Lena's quiet shop, where a different rhythm prevailed. She had discovered that prosperity moves with the measured beat of nature itself. Each morning, she would place her hand upon her heart and align her words with its steady pulse. Wealth flows naturally now. Her voice carried the calm assurance of a heart beating in perfect time. As days passed, Bruno's frenetic energy scattered his possibilities like leaves in a storm. But Lena's measured speech created a rhythm that wealth could dance to. Her business grew in harmony with her words, expanding and contracting like steady breaths. Money flowed to her with the reliability of a heartbeat, neither rushed nor delayed. The universe itself moves in rhythm. The tides, the seasons, the cycles of the moon, all follow an unforced cadence. Wealth, too, has its natural beat. When your words match this sacred tempo, abundance flows as naturally as blood through veins. Your speech sets the pace of your prosperity. Anxious words create disrupted patterns that wealth cannot follow. But when you speak in harmony with life's natural rhythm, you align with the heartbeat of abundance itself. This is not mere metaphor, but ancient law, the law of resonance that governs all creation. Money responds to rhythm more than force. It flows not to those who chase it frantically, but to those who match its natural cadence. Your words, when aligned with the steady beat of life, become like a magnetic pulse drawing wealth toward you with each measured breath. The ancient practice. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Place your hand over your heart, feeling its steady rhythm. As you attune to this natural beat, begin speaking your 4 chosen words of wealth. Let them synchronize with your heartbeat, neither rushing nor dragging. Continue until you feel your words and heartbeat moving as one, creating a steady pulse of prosperity. This alignment reminds your being that wealth flows as naturally as the blood in your veins. Chapter 28. The Golden Breath. In ancient times, high in a mountain temple, Orso spent his days speaking empty words into the wind, his complaints scattered like dry leaves, carrying no power to create. Though his voice rang loud across the valley, his words held no substance, no life-giving force. Each utterance drained his vitality, rather than building his future. In the same temple dwelled Mila, who had uncovered a sacred truth. She understood that breath itself carries the power of creation, just as it did at the dawn of time when the universe first spoke existence into being. Each morning she would stand facing the rising sun, drawing in deep breaths of dawn air. As she exhaled, she would speak her chosen words of abundance, imagining them flowing out as streams of golden light. Her practice was simple, yet transformative. With each breath, her words grew more potent, more alive. She knew that breath is the bridge between spirit and matter, between thought and form. When words ride upon conscious breath, they carry the power to shape reality itself. This wisdom spans ages and cultures. The ancient mystics taught that breath is the carrier of divine creative force. When you join conscious breath with intentional speech, you participate in the ongoing creation of your world. Each exhaled word becomes a seed planted in the fertile soil of possibility. Your breath is not merely air, it is life force itself. When you speak of wealth while disconnected from your breath, your words lack the power to manifest. But when you breathe life into your declarations, they become charged with creative energy. Every exhaled affirmation carries the power to transform your circumstances. Think of your words as golden light, illuminating the path ahead. Each breath draws in universal energy. Each spoken phrase releases that energy in a directed stream of creative force. This is not metaphor but mechanism, the very process by which thought becomes thing. The ancient practice. Find a quiet space where you can breathe freely. Stand or sit with your spine straight, allowing breath to flow naturally. As you inhale, imagine drawing in pure golden light. Hold this breath briefly, letting it fill you with its radiance. Then, as you exhale, speak your 4 chosen words of wealth, visualizing them flowing out as streams of golden light. Feel each word carrying the creative force of your breath into the world. Continue this practice until you sense your words glowing with life-giving power. Chapter 29. The Wealth Echo Chamber. In the quietest hours before dawn, Sergio sat in his dimly lit apartment, muttering familiar phrases of lack. "Never enough," he would whisper, unaware that these words painted his walls with scarcity. Day after day, his rooms grew heavier with the weight of his negative declarations, until even the air felt thick with limitation. Yet across the city lived Rena, who understood the sacred art of filling spaces with prosperous vibrations. Each morning she would walk through her home speaking words of abundance. "Wealth flows freely here," she declared with quiet certainty. "Money multiplies joyfully in this space." Her words danced in corners, settled on surfaces, and created an invisible field of possibility. Within weeks, Rena noticed how her environment began responding to these verbal offerings. Unexpected checks appeared in her mailbox. Business opportunities emerged from chance conversations. Even her plants seemed to grow more abundantly, as if nourished by the prosperous atmosphere she had created. The universe operates through resonance. Your words create ripples that return as waves of matching experience. When you fill your space with declarations of wealth, those very walls begin holding the frequency of abundance. Like a tuning fork that continues vibrating long after being struck, your words continue resonating through your environment. This truth reveals itself through the ancient wisdom. Spaces become temples to whatever is consistently spoken within them. Your rooms are not mere containers of furniture and belongings. They are sacred chambers where your words accumulate and multiply. Every phrase you utter adds another layer to the invisible atmosphere you inhabit. The power lies not in volume, but in persistence. Gentle, steady affirmations spoken with certainty will transform any space into a sanctuary of abundance. Your words should feel like golden threads weaving through the air, creating a tapestry of prosperity that grows richer with each declaration. Wealth responds to environments where it feels welcomed and honored. When your space rings with the language of abundance, money flows naturally toward that resonance. It seeks out locations where its presence is celebrated through conscious speech. Sacred practice. Find a quiet room where you can be undisturbed. Stand in its center and speak your 4 chosen words of wealth with gentle authority. Listen as they travel outward and return to you. Continue until you sense them lingering in the air, transforming the very space you occupy into a chamber of abundance. Let each repetition add another layer of golden resonance to your environment. Chapter 30. The Voice That Builds Tomorrow. Long ago, in a bustling market town, Lupo stood before his empty shop each morning, unconsciously dismantling his future brick by brick. "Nothing ever works out," he would mutter, his words like hammers striking against the foundation of possibility. With each negative declaration, another stone of opportunity crumbled away. His words carved channels of lack into the bedrock of his experience, until his reality matched the blueprint of his speech. In the same town lived Fina, who understood that words were not mere sounds, but building materials for tomorrow. She approached each dawn as a master architect approaches a fresh canvas. Standing in her modest garden, she would speak with deliberate care. Abundance grows naturally here. Her words became invisible pillars, supporting structures of prosperity that only her inner eye could see. As seasons turned, these contrasting approaches revealed their power. Lupo's shop remained as empty as his expectations, while Fina's small enterprise flourished, expanding like a well-tended garden. She had discovered what the ancient ones knew, that speech carries the power of creation itself. When you speak of limitation, you draw boundaries around your potential. These verbal walls become as solid as stone, containing your experience within the narrow confines of what you believe possible. Yet when you declare abundance, you lay foundations for expansion. Each affirmation becomes a cornerstone upon which greater possibilities can rest. Your words are not merely descriptions of what exists. They are the raw materials from which tomorrow is fashioned. Every declaration you make sends ripples through the fabric of potential, attracting circumstances that match your verbal blueprint. The universe responds not to what you wish for, but to what you speak into being with conviction. Those who master this wisdom understand that casual speech is a luxury they cannot afford. They choose their words with the precision of a master builder selecting stones for a cathedral. Each phrase must serve the greater design of the life they intend to create. This is not merely about positive thinking. It is about conscious creation through deliberate declaration. Your words are tools of manifestation, carving pathways through which abundance can flow. When you speak with awareness, you participate in the sacred act of building your destiny. Sacred practice. Find a quiet moment at dawn or dusk. Stand facing east, the direction of new beginnings. Place one hand upon your heart and extend the other before you, as though laying invisible bricks in space. Speak your 4 chosen words of wealth with the certainty of a master builder. Feel each word settling into place, solid and real, forming the foundation of your prosperous future. Let each repetition add another layer to the structure of abundance you are creating. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. You have discovered the ancient truth that builders of prosperity have known through ages. Your words construct your reality. Through these teachings, a profound understanding has emerged. The universe's abundance flows not through struggle, but through the gateway of aligned speech. With each chapter's wisdom, you witnessed how declarations shape circumstance. Those who spoke of lack found emptiness. Those who proclaimed prosperity discovered fullness. This was not coincidence, but cosmic law at work. The law of attraction responding to the vibration of every word. Your 4 chosen words of wealth now carry power because you understand their creative force. They are not mere wishes or empty phrases, but blueprints that the universe follows with precise accuracy. When you declare, "Wealth surrounds me," or "Abundance flows freely," these statements become instructions to universal forces. The simplicity of this truth may surprise you. No elaborate ceremonies were needed, no complex rituals required. The only necessity was your voice, aligned with conviction, speaking words that match the prosperity you desire to manifest. Your consistent practice has proven that focused speech creates tangible results. You've learned to distinguish between unconscious complaint and conscious creation. Where once your words may have scattered like seeds on barren ground, they now plant themselves in fertile soil of understanding. Each affirmation sends ripples through the fabric of creation, attracting circumstances that mirror your declarations. This wisdom places you at the threshold of a new beginning. The power has always resided in your speech. You needed only to recognize and direct it. Now you stand as conscious creator, understanding that each word shapes the substance of tomorrow. Your voice joins the eternal creative word that has formed worlds since time began. Remember, wealth manifests not through force, but through frequency. Your 4 words, spoken with certainty, attune you to abundance's natural flow. The universe responds not to volume, but to resonance, to words charged with knowing. Speak your truth of prosperity. Let each declaration ripple outward until the unseen becomes seen. The path to abundance opens through your voice.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.